So let's talk about some of the things that advisors need to be prepared for that often aren't discussed.
Yeah, and that's the longest I've ever stayed quiet for. So I'll that was a big one for me. Okay, so first of all, and I'm happy you asked this, how emotionally and psychologically taxing it is to go through a transition. If you are really in the weeds of a transition as either the owner or someone who's a key stakeholder, it is taxing. And I want to speak directly to the advisors, because when we're talking about M&A and succession planning, a lot of times it's executives talking to executives. The reality is it's an emotional experience for two reasons. Number one, the advisor who's just spent 30 years building a book of business is giving up control. And even if they're not monetizing, they're giving up some semblance of control by engaging in any sort of M&A activity when they are the acquiree. So there's that one aspect. And what I say to advisors all the time is, if anyone's painting you a picture, because let's be honest, we're all salespeople, but if there's no indication, there's no reality check about what it's like to actually go through this process for you and your clients, know that it's maybe not the full picture. So there's that one piece. It's also emotionally taxing for the clients. And I think what we underestimate in this business, because we talk so much to each other as industry folks, is, sometimes the jargon that we use, the reason why we may go BD to RIA, shout out to all my BD advisors listening, clients don't fully understand even the differences. They don't understand what's happened in our industry to bring us to a place where we are now, seeing consolidation in the RIA space. That doesn't mean that much to them. And so what's important for advisors to do that they don't get coached enough on is translate what's happening into layman's terms, but also be prepared to answer difficult questions like, what is a fiduciary, or what do these fees mean, in terms that don't make the client feel like they're stupid. We talk a lot about valuations, billions in assets. We don't rate what was the client's experience going through the transition. Did the advisor and their spouse survive the transition? And so we spend a lot of time talking about the transactions and not enough really being empathetic to both the advisor and the client, I think, during the process. The other thing I'd say is that anytime, and the question was things advisors need to look out for that they don't hear enough about. Anytime there is hyperactivity in any industry and in any sector of any industry, whether it's fintech, whether it's M&A, that always means there's opportunity, but it also means that we are slowly going to move away from our original objective, which is, the advisor is looking to leave legacy and the client wants a good experience. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean it becomes so much more about the transactions. And, we're giving awards to most M&A deals. And no offense, Dave, I think you've won that a number of times. But my point is, we don't give the award for highest client satisfaction rates during the transaction. And so what I share with advisors is that along the process, you will get that feeling of excitement. You will get that feeling of, oh my gosh, this is great. Always ground yourself in, is this the outcome I wanted the client to achieve? Has something changed about, the what the client is experiencing? And am I still tied to my noble purpose as much as I was 10, 20 years ago in this business? That's what I'd